doing it from last 2 to 3 years over here at the same platform, and we thank the Help Library for really giving us this platform to interact. And to tell you what SSRF or Spiritual Science Research Foundation is, it is a you can go on this website and get all the details where there is spiritual. The USP of our foundation is that there is spiritual research which has been conducted for past 20 years, and all the articles, all the findings have been put up on this website. So even if somebody is facing different ailments, what to do, how to go about it, there's a chart for physical, if somebody is having physical ailments, mental ailments, different kinds is all there. And there are over 500 articles which have been put up. So I would request all of you to go there. There are live case studies, and you'll get a lot of information on this website. Of course, we are there to take it offline for people who are really not computer savvy, because I really understand that not everyone would have access to computers, but that's why we have these talks. So if you would like us to even come and talk to any of your companies or your societies.
Which is the website?
It is called you see here, www Spiritual Research Foundation. I will write it and give it to you at the end of it. We'll give you also where you can go and interact with people, where we have regular talks as well. We do a lot of talks for a lot of corporates, banks, associations, societies, colleges, schools and all. So you could tell us, even we could be quite happy to share, because we do it at no cost, because this is what we have gained. We are working professionals, and we leave our work and come here to see and share the information, because it has made a very big impact in our lives, and obviously that's the reason we are here. So to start off with, today's topic is managing stress the spiritual way. To start off, what I will do is, I would request all of you to please close your eyes, and I will say a short prayer as we start, and that's how we will begin the talk. O Lord, we are at your holy feet today. We have assembled here to learn about the spiritual way of managing stress. Please remove the black covering from our minds and intellect, and the information which will be shared today, please let us imbibe it and can help us to increase our spiritual journey so that we can lead a peaceful life at all times. We are at your holy feet. Amen. You can open your eyes. Now, when we start off with, why do we start off with the prayer? To just a little background is, any activity, whatever we do, whether you're sitting, you're sitting in a vehicle, traveling, starting any activity on a day-to-day basis, we start off with the very three basics. This is the foundation of whatever activity we do, and that is prayer. And at the end of it, we will also offer gratitude, because everything has to end with gratitude. Whatever we have today is thanks to, stress is a word which is is relative, but at the end of it, we do have a lot as well. And at the end of it, we are not gratified for what we have in our own lives. And that's more important than cribbing about what we don't have. And we overlook the things what we have. So therefore, and that's what causes us really the stress in our lives, And you might have attended lectures, you might have seen different things on television, media, which talks about a lot of stress. And I'm sure all of you know what stress is. But do we really know it? As we went through this topic, we realized that, oh yeah, I know about stress. The first time you hear it, you say, so what's new about it? But let us get some insights of what it means. We'll just cover today introduction and meaning. Stress is a major problem faced by most of us in today's world. I think more specifically in the urban cities, and more specifically in Bombay, I don't think anyone who you will meet is not running. He would be running, he doesn't know where. That's the second thing. But the fact is, you're running on a treadmill, is what we say. So that's what it is. Today, most of us are facing stress. It affects our physical and mental health negatively. It spoils family relation and has become the cause of many evils and problems in society, whether you face it on an individual basis or whether your organization faces, or as a community what we are facing. And today's lecture therefore will deal with its meaning on stress, the causes, the effects, the remedies and the removal. What is meant by stress? Now this is a scientific explanation of what we understand what stress is. It is the physical and the emotional response to any kind of change. The minute the human brain hears the word change, there is already, I'm just saying change, and something in your mind is not sounding favorable about it. And that's what all humans are. We cannot accept change very easily, though we all accept. Intellectually we know that change is constant, because you can't live in a world which is static. It has to be moving. So therefore we have to know that how you adapt yourself, what is the response you have, and how long you take to adapt, or how long you take to get over that reaction to a certain situation which you may be facing, is the response of a physical kind. And therefore emotional will be either a psychological or at the mental level, whatever you may call it. And that's your response when you react to something, or when you are actually taking a feedback and then you think of something and you keep thinking about it. That's a reaction you've had. Whether you think reaction is not just being angry, it also means it could be a slow reaction. It may take some time before it assimilates in your system. Next, somebody says something today, you say, I'm not bothered. You go next day in the morning and you're still thinking about it. You are bothered. Though by verbally saying you're not bothered doesn't change the meaning that you are really not bothered. So when you say stress it's a physical and emotional response to any kind of change. Can we take this questions at the end, if you don't mind? You have.
Asking for some language.
Yeah.
What is the difference between response and reaction? Is it same or?
No, it's different, but probably I will get back to you on that question later. In reality, a situation by itself is never stressful. It depends on how a person views it according to his personality. Now when we say personality, there is a whole lot of things which go into it. There are characteristics which we have been born with, there are personality traits, there are belief systems, there's the environment which we live in, and so many other factors which actually decide the response which you give. So in reality, if I were to say, you remove the emotions out of everything and you say there's a death which has taken, or somebody is not well. I'm talking of a negative incident or an event which could have happened. What happens that time? If you remove the emotions of it, it's a death. We all know that somebody who has to come, who is alive here, has to go at one point. At some days we say, no, death is a reality, but we have not accepted that. But if you remove the emotions, somebody who has been ailing for a long time and passes away, what is your reaction to that, or what is your feeling towards that? No? So, sorry.
I may have to follow you sooner or later.
Okay, we'll leave that comment later. I understand, but that's nothing. Let's not get into it. In reality, a situation by itself is not stressful. It's how we respond to it is very, very important, and that depends on how you look at it. Because the same person, the same situation, two people put over there will never be the same reaction, or the same response, or the same action of what you do. What are the causes of stress? Having understood of what is stress all about, what are the causes of stress? We see causes at the physical level. You see, people, somebody is itching a lot, fidgeting around. We think, these are mannerisms or characteristics of the person. but we don't realize at some point this could be an internal fight which he is fighting with himself, because your Kurukshetra is right inside you, or your Mahabharata is happening all the time within us, of yes, no, good, bad, all the time. There's a right and there's a wrong, and that's the constant fight we have in different situations. So that is what is causing us the physical part is only a result or a manifestation which you see, and therefore you'll find somebody who's scratching all the time, who's doing like this, some mannerisms, which means he is stressed up without even realizing it. He or she may not even think about it, that it is stressful, but the fact is it's a result of something what is going on in his mind. The second thing is psychological, constantly thinking of the same thoughts again. If you have somebody told you something, you are a sensitive person, and if people say they are not sensitive, it's very difficult to accept that, because human beings by nature are sensitive. So if somebody who's close to you has said something which is not good, which has hurt you, especially your boss, your wife, your sister, mother, daughter, it's going to hurt you at some point. And that's what will play on your mind at a psychological level, because you'll keep thinking about that thought, that incident again and again and again. So what you're doing is, it is affecting you psychologically, because that thought is repeating in its own way at different times. There are also spiritual causes, and that's what we'll see today, where there are different ways of what, without us understanding of what we see, it is beyond what the mind and the intellect sees and feels, is that could be what is a spiritual cause. Then influence of the Western culture. Today increasingly that's becoming a very stressful factor, because today youth is faced between two fights, and parents are in a big dilemma of how to treat their children, whether to treat them as friends or to treat them as peers or to boss over them or what, so, and same thing with the children. They don't know whether to, like, they want their parents to be treated as friends, they want them to not boss over them, they want to go out in the current times and so on. So there is a lot of pressure which is being there, which is the influence of the Western culture. The physical causes. As stress keeps continuing, or it remains with you for a long time, then what happens? As a result of that, it results in illnesses, different kinds of illnesses. It could be chronic and terminal illnesses. And science has proved that today's terminal diseases, the major cause, up to 63%, is because of stressful factors, of a stressful environment the person may be living in. And that's what it results, as you see at the physical level.
Then is there any report about what they are taking substance?